Going live. Everybody, we're going live.
Are we live?
Yeah. That lighting looks better.
That's good. I'm naturally dark, so.
And the tree's just gonna ripple.
And then we'll get, the nice lightning flashes every now and then. That'll make things.
Yeah. It's storming out. So you know how last week was like super overblown with the lighting? And apparently there's some weird, Natasha pointed out that there's some weird stuff going on in the video, and we don't know how to fix that.
Natasha, thank you. We're gonna look at it. I don't know what I can do. I'm gonna watch the YouTube video from its original source.
Yeah.
See if maybe I can do something there.
Because there's only
it's just like buffered or something.
Maybe because we just like directly live record these,
it and then it just takes it into the file.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry.
And if you hear things outside, it is thunder, lightning. The way you love me is frightening.
What's that? I don't know.
Onward, baby.
I feel like
you better knock on wood.
Oh,
you better knock on wood.
Dang. That took me a minute.
A lot of these songs I only know because either I or someone in my dance studio danced to them, so I heard them on repeat about 1,000 times.
Well, it's like I know the chorus and that's it.
Yeah.
That one.
I have extra beats because they beat on the floor at one point.
Yeah.
And so, I have like a good hair day today.
You are having a good hair day.
Alrighty.
I don't know.
Are you having a good hair day?
I'm
Your hair day is better than my hair day on most days.
False, but I'll take it. I'm having a good shirt day.
So we
it's my plaid
D&D,
my holiday inspired shirt. Or if you ask domestic partner Jesse, my grunge inspired look.
I'm a lumberjack and that's okay.
Yeah.
So random D&D update. We had a good night last night,
guys. We befriended some gnolls instead of fighting them.
We flat out I feel like Daniel would be very proud of us.
Yeah. We diplomacied the crap out of that.
We totally just, and instead of having, so we walked into a room, and these were our Nefreyu and my Battle Corgi character.
Yes, there's the two. There's
the non-Sam character.
There's the future people, and then there's the past people.
Yeah.
So right now we're playing the past people, and it's the non-Sam character.
Yeah, so Sam is in the future,
and my awesome Furbolg.
It's where Ronan was, and then Ronan died.
And so then what we did is. The two largest, craziest looking characters in the bunch, the Dragonborn Ranger and the Furbolg Druid, have disguised self. So we disguised ourselves as a gnoll and a bugbear. And mind you, the greatest part of this entire encounter is we can't figure out whose one idea it was. It was completely everyone's. It was completely everyone's input. So he disguised himself as a bugbear. He was a bugbear.
Oh, you were a bugbear. You were.
And then I was a gnoll because I can make myself small.
Yeah. And
then we ran into a room and he played dead as I pretend stabbed him like theater style.
Viva la Novolution!
And I said, "Viva la Novolution!" Because our perception had told us that the gnolls were anxious about being there with the bugbears and having to be their soldiers.
There's tension in the room.
There was tension in the room. Thank you, DM Jesse.
Yes.
So then what we did was we used that tension in our favor, and we went in Viva la Novolution. I pretend stabbed
the pretend bugbear.
Yeah. And then ran to the real bugbear.
And then just popped him in the face.
And then went invisible. And they did all the rest of the work.
The gnolls killed the other bugbears in the room. And then I had put up a false wall. So it's like no one's here at the hallway that you can't see.
Yeah.
And then once they were done and eating all the carcasses, we just I put down the wall and...
this is genius.
Yeah.
We had saved a giant lizard
carcass
that we killed and skinned. So we threw the one of our rangers knew that gnolls like to just eat stuff.
Eat everything.
So we threw the carcass in as like a gift. And then diplomacy, our bard, right? It was among all of us. We were like, the bard's got the highest charisma. So the bard went in there and was like, if you leave us alone, we leave you alone. And then we attempted to get them to join our fight.
Yeah,
they were like,
no.
But we'll leave the castle if you deal with the cultists.
And there was 8 there was 8
There was like 4,
gnolls.
Yeah, there was 8 gnolls and
2
4 bugbears.
2 bugbears.
2 bugbears.
And we didn't have to do a thing.
You
They all
literally
they
did
killed
nothing.
the bugbears. 2 gnolls died. The rest of the gnolls bugged out.
Which the nice thing was, then we had that room so we could take a real quick short rest.
Yep.
10 minutes, no more.
Yep.
And I got my invisibility back.
Yeah.
And I was particularly proud of myself because I was like, okay, well, once I start hitting this thing, how am I going to disengage
Boom.
without anyone else having to
Smoke
join me in
bomb.
this room? So I was like, Nefreyu's no longer here, bye.
Smoke bomb. And that was even before the final encounter with like the cultist members that
Gosh.
we basically were in the tiniest room and it was a giant bottleneck and we
Yeah.
all strategized our ways to do this. But my annoying part is that
we get silence.
so I have a battle wizard
Yeah.
elf
Yeah.
who all I do is stand in the back and lob shit. Like
Yeah.
I don't even have touch spells. I have nothing for melee. I have almost
Everything's
no hit
verbal.
points. Everything
It's
is
really
verbal.
cool because the way the character play out works is you and our wizard and our bard
Yes.
stay in the back and just shout shit at everybody.
Uh-huh.
Like, yeah, get him. Yeah. Because like all the bard does is inspire courage or Tasha's hitting
And
or
I just
this
like
is mockery or-
throw elemental forces from the
Right.
back from
so,
a distance.
So they're just like hype men in the back.
Yeah. But then there was two rounds of silence thrown.
No, I will say that was genius. It was friend Amanda's character.
Yeah.
But Mr. Phil, gotta give him credit.
Yes.
He's like, I'm gonna cast silence on their spellcaster because he's
Yeah.
really freaking good.
He was really strong.
And so it's like, fine, we're all having silence. Everybody's silent all the time.
And so the nice things, I had one really powerful spell that sort of bounces. It was Witchblade, so it like Witchbolt, so it will continue through
Yeah.
rounds. And so I had already cast that before silence was hitting, but then the bad guy that was on was killed.
yeah.
So I'm like, well, now I'm fucked. I literally can't do any. I'm going through every spell. Everyone has a verbal component. I am literally worthless in the back
We made
here
it work. We
until
found it
the
out.
next round. The one spell
Like
that
the
I
one
didn't look at.
cantrip.
The one cantrip, the most basic cantrip in the entire world, minor illusion, has no verbal elements.
Yeah.
So I'm like throwing fake arrows. I'm like misting in front of his
Just
eyes.
adding, just creating subterfuge.
Chaos.
Yeah, just creating
Just sowing
subterfuge.
chaos for
So,
the bad
you
guy.
know, really, that's what the name of our party should be. Is some sort of chaos related thing. 'Cause it's-
Chaos Muppets!
the chaos Muppets. The chaos Muppets and the order Muppets.
Yes.
Because that is almost exactly what they are.
I mean, Sam's still a chaos
So,
Muppet.
yes, but for the most part, that
the most
first
part.
team is very orderly.
Yeah.
Yeah, these guys, they just seem to work really well when the
It's
shit's all over the
hilarious.
place. They are like an SG1 team.
They are very much like an SG1
It was
team.
really fun. I was really fun. I got to be like the coolest healer ever. I don't know if you guys play and you have not checked out the Druid options inside Xanathar's Guide. I truly recommend them.
Yeah.
Druid of Dreams, which is what I am.
Yeah.
Circle of Dreams. Holy crap!
Well-
It's so broken in the best way possible.
Well, also, Nick's Ranger, what is it? The Gloomhaven?
Gloom something.
It's
I
like
don't remember.
I say
yeah.
Gloomhaven, but I don't think it's it. The
It's not
Gloom
Gloomhaven.
something Ranger. Holy crap, that is broken in an
Super
awesome
broken.
way, too.
Super broken. But
For
yeah.
our advantage.
The Freya's become like the greatest healer I've ever met.
She's fantastic.
But yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. He just like prefers that pronoun.
But I say he doesn't. It's kind of quasi fluid.
He's a little, he just prefers it. And for now, it may change.
To be fair, Topsy may call him him and a she the next day, and then a him the next day,
they
and
have a
then
very
she.
special relationship.
Yes.
But
Anyways, this has been D&D Talk with Nixie and
thanks
Grace.
for letting us do it. Yeah. Circle of Dreams.
Circle
Do
of
it.
Dreams.
Do
It's
it.
the circle of
And
dreams.
see, in my head, it's like in the circle of the dreams.
It's circle of
I
dreams.
go something in my healing for my spell.
Healing in my sleep.
Through the temple of what's it called?
To the temple of evil. But
Yeah.
there's another word.
Yeah.
And then anyways.
The elemental evil.
When we go back in here, we're just going to raid the shit out of this castle because all of the main bad guys are dead. So the only ones left are the random people hiding in rooms.
and whatever that elemental thing
And
is
whatever
in the
there's a
lake.
weird elemental pool. But yeah, we're just gonna go loot
because
some
guys,
shit.
we're in the Temple of Elemental Evil,
And
therefore there's going to be
probably
a lot
gonna
of
be
elemental shit.
An elemental evil. Okay,
Evil. Okay, ready, go.
we're gonna do the Stargate thing now.
Cheers.
What? 52?
152.
Alrighty. Welcome to the episode 152 of There's No Place Like Terra, a Stargate First Watch Rewatch podcast. I am Nixie.
And I'm Grace.
In the middle of talking,
I don't know what happened.
Forgot what I was gonna say.
Yeah, you're like, where am I? Who am I? What's happening? Today we're going over season 7, episode 21 of Stargate SG1. We're gonna have to start prepping those.
Yes.
So today we're going into Stargate SG1,
Yep.
season 7, episode 21, Lost City, part 1.
Yes.
Wow, that's a mouthful. I got this.
Okay.
I'm gonna do this. It's gonna be okay.
Do you have an AKA?
I did, and I forgot it.
I did too, and I forgot mine too. We'll come up with it as we go.
Yeah, because I don't know what it is anymore.
It's just SG1 Simpsons analogy.
Ooh, AKA Guinness is definitely food.
Oh, that works. Guinness is definitely food. Also, don't let Daniel drink.
Or
AKA,
please let Daniel drink.
AKA, my depth is immaterial to this conversation.
There's no one I want to get drunk with more than Daniel.
That's very true.
Or honestly, stoned.
Yeah.
Stoned with Daniel. I just want to have an edible with look, Danial. Let's split a brownie. It's such a bummer. I was thinking about this the other day.
They're in Colorado.
They are. They are. I was thinking about this the other day. We were talking about our top 5, and Michael Shanks is definitely in my top 5.
Yeah.
But I think Daniel is more like the fictitious character.
Yeah, no. Most of my top 5 are not
real
the actors. They're characters.
Nothing wrong with the actor.
Nothing wrong with the actor. Here's the way that I explain it. I don't know the actor.
That's fair.
I don't spend hours upon hours with the actor. I spend hours upon hours, and I know the character.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's why I have the crush on the character, which is why when we get into the Dolphin cast, my crush, as much as I love Jonathan Brandis, but my crush is on Lucas Wallencheck.
Yeah. Before we get much further, guys, I want to tell you that this episode is brought to you by wine, whiskey, coffee. What's in that guy?
Homemade, what's the coffee liqueur?
Kahlua.
Homemade Kahlua.
And donuts. So hang on to your butts.
I didn't have enough wine left, and I didn't have enough Irish whiskey left, so
she mixed them like a heathen, like a wonderful, amazing heathen. And then I tasted it, and I said it tastes like high school.
But like a high-end high school, because it was pretty
like
nice
a private
wine.
School.
Yeah, private school, because it's a pretty nice wine.
Like
it was
like a boarding school.
Pretty nice Irish whiskey.
Yeah.
So it's a thing now.
It just tastes like one of those things that you do when you're like, well, how do I make more?
I will say this: it is a fruit away from being a sangria.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
It's a sangria without the fruit. Make it sound classier.
I'm okay with that. Yeah. It's a donut sangria.
It's a donut.
I mean, I grabbed a strawberry frosted.
I volunteer for donut.
Yeah.
Again, we volunteer for donut. Which reminds me, pod card's going out soon.
Yeah.
March 12th, 2004. I felt like I was just the start of a Dollop episode.
Yeah, just yell.
March 12th, 2004.
Wait, do I have to be Gareth? I'm not that funny.
Neither one of us are as funny as Gareth.
No, that man is another one. He may make my top 5. I'm not gonna lie.
Just his voice.
Something. Yeah, I was like, I just want to have a conversation again. Just people I want to sit around and be stoned with.
Okay, so this episode is written by Brad Wright and Robert C. Cooper. You can tell it's a big landmark, important episode when you bring up the big guns of Brad Wright and Robert C. Cooper. Directed by Mr. Martin Wood. And the guest star here is, we have a guest star and then like a fun extra fact. So the guest star here is obviously Jessica Steen as Dr. Elizabeth Weir.
The Semmelganger, if you will.
The Semmelganger. She is actually, you saw her for a hot moment in Armageddon. She was one of the shuttle pilots in Armageddon. But But she's also like in Slapshot 2, which is where I recognize her because, of course, she was in NCIS as like a quasi-regular.
A Slapshot 2?
Yeah, there's a Slapshot 2.
Wow. Okay, got it.
There's a Slapshot 2.
I mean, I barely know Slapshot 1.
Yeah,
but again, I'm not from Minnesota.
The land from
yeah. the land of ice and snow.
Yeah, thank you. That's what I was trying to go to. And she's been on Heartland for many years. Basically, here's the thing. She has been acting regularly since the 80s. She's been on your screens, as many of our guest stars have. You've seen her all over.
She's a working actor.
Yes.
Props to her.
So the other person who, and this is not someone you would have noticed or picked out, but on SG3, one of the people on that team is Ron
that the
Bleeker.
two guys we see in the room?
No,
he's
he's on the planet. He's on the actual planet. It's Ron Bleeker, who is actually the military advisor for all of Stargate.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's been the advisor on BSG, X-Files, like so many things you can't believe. He's a U.S. Army veteran. He joined, he was 17, according to IMDb. Retired in 1998 as a first sergeant. He was a ranger. He founded a company called DEFCON 5, which provides trained weapons performers and military, like police consultants for TV and movies.
That's smart. You know, you can either be angry about them doing things wrong on TV, or you can be like, why don't we change it?
Well, apparently what he did is he did some work when he was, before he retired from the Army, he was helping the Vancouver SWAT team, like, educate them and do some new stuff like this. And they gave the team his name to the X-Files producers when they were looking for someone for a specific episode.
Because Vancouver.
So he got his first break in X-Files, and he just kind of fell into that.
Those are the best kind of, like,
isn't that fantastic?
Things when you kind of just fall into the line of work that you're like, I don't know how I got here. I just kept following the passion that I had in my heart to do the thing that I love.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's cool. Alrighty. So we start this episode where we never thought we'd start a season finale or any episode necessarily in Jack's bathroom.
Yeah, well, you know, it's appropriate.
Working on a crossword puzzle that he's taped onto the mirror while he does a shaving job that makes me cringe.
So let me tell you about what I was reminded of. Like, you noticed the cringy shaving. I was like, this is exactly how Jack would do homework.
Oh, it is completely.
It's like the day of. Like, he literally taped it to the bathroom window. Like, fuck, I'm not done. Fuck, I'm not done. Shows up late to class. It was like, it's done. It's not done well. Don't read it too closely, but it's done.
So Daniel calls, who's already at work naturally. May have not left. He wants to talk about the ancient repository of knowledge that they're pretty sure SG2 discovered. And Jack just wants to know a 7-letter word for up, down, charmed, blank. I
don't know how he got to strange.
Oh, it's the actual answer.
Yeah, I know. But how do you get that from up, down, charmed? Am I an idiot?
They're types of quirks.
Oh.
He has been hanging around Sam enough that he knows some basics of fundamental.
That was more my thing, where I was like, how do you get to the word strange from that?
So up, down, quirk, up, quirk, down, quirk, charmed, quirk, strange, quirk. Strange is the opposite of charmed, quirk.
Damn.
Yeah.
All I could think of, because we're in Jack's bathroom, is that the repository of the ancients sounds like a bathroom.
I'm now calling. I'm putting a sign on that bathroom.
The repository
of the ancients.
Come reposit for the ancients.
Come a repository. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
Anyways, Daniel's like strange, and Jack thought so as well. So apparently there's a challenge.
Nice to know that I'm on the Jack side of things on this one. It's fine. This is fine.
So apparently there's been a challenge between Jack and Sam about this crossword puzzle, and Daniel swore that he wouldn't help, but we'll get back to that in a second. Also, I'm not surprised in the slightest that Jack's cell phone is waterproof.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You just watch it while Daniel's talking.
I was more like, I guess I didn't realize that they made phones that way, and then I went, no, phones used to be better equipped for everything. And now they're not.
You could run over a Nokia brick with a car and it would be fine.
And Nokia's brick is,
Yeah.
The memes are real.
Memes are real.
Yeah.
So meanwhile in DC, we meet Dr. Elizabeth Weir running out of her house with an early Bluetooth hands-free headset, running for a cab that she's called. She apparently teaches poli-sci at Georgetown. And a guy tries to take her cab,
Imagine having her as a teacher. That would be awesome.
That would be really awesome. The guy tries taking a cab, speaking in Russian that he also called a cab. And Weir, without even a pause, responds back in Russian, pleading that she actually needs this cab more than he does.
Like, you don't know me, this is my cab.
Weir does have a very important meeting at the White House with the president, and the guy's like, I don't believe
I'm
you.
sure you do. I mean, yeah, I'm sure you do. Especially if you're in Georgetown, that's what you're going to say.
Yeah.
I can't get over how much she reminds me of Sam.
She looks so much like Sam.
But the thing is, she's also this like badass. The first time we meet her, she's running out, grabbing a cab, speaking Russian, getting shit done.
Yeah.
So in a lot of ways, she reminds me of Sam. But yeah, she looks a lot like her. Yeah.
She does. But it's just great how right off the bat we impart how highly capable this woman is.
Like, I feel like had Sam not gone through a bunch of military education,
they would have been
besties.
Yeah.
They would have been like wine night and getting shit done.
It's just, here's the thing is, when you in one episode are going to put someone who is not Hammond in charge of the SGC,
they better be great.
You have to impart real early on that this person is capable of taking over.
Absolutely. There can be no... I love that she doesn't fall into the trope of like the anxious woman leader, whatever that happens too often, or the wants to please everybody.
Yeah.
Like, she's not there to appeal and be like, hey guys, I'm your friend. She's like, I'm here to get this shit done.
Exactly. And they do a really great job just literally in a scene about getting a cab, showing this woman's not like, this woman is a force.
Yeah. She's forced to be reckoned with. She's not here to just look pretty.
And while they're discussing about who's going to take this cab, a black limo pulls up behind Weir. It is Kinsey with something to discuss with her.
Vice President Butthole.
Vice President Butthole. End credits. When we come back, we learn that Kinsey was on his way to back from an athletic club, and my spine shivers for some reason. Anyway, he's here to brief Weir for the interview, but she doesn't have an interview, she thinks. And Kinsey reads her into the Stargate program, and after the elevator pitch, she's like, this is all a joke.
Yeah.
I
love the note.
He brings out a note from the president.
Like, how annoyed, it totally makes it better. How annoyed is Kinsey that that's what he got from the president to give her?
Yeah, I know.
Where he's like, we need to give her something that's just like, okay, here. This is not a joke. Sign the president. Give her this.
Yeah.
Like, that room conversation must have been like, fuck you. Like, it was... I love this president so much. I want to see him and Jack interact so bad.
This president, again, we were talking about Sorkin last episode. This president reminds me in ways of
Toby?
Not of Toby, of Bartlett.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
He has that little bit of a joking.
He doesn't take himself too seriously.
Yes. Yeah.
While he is serious about the job, he does not overinflate his own ego over it.
But at the same time, he also sometimes has to make decisions that he doesn't, which we come across later with the conversation with Hammond, which we'll get to. Anyways. So Kinsey then hands her a file and her mind starts to blow up.
Imagine just getting some file. It's like, that sounds like science fiction.
Yeah.
Then you're like, this is a great story. This must be a test of some sort.
So Jack continues this crossword puzzle in the elevator down to the SGC, and Major Wood is there in the elevator with him, peeking over his shoulder, like shaking his head because he can clearly see how those answers are wrong. When the elevator doors...
Like, dude, you didn't do your homework, and it's garbage.
Yeah. Elevator doors open, and the rest of SG-1 are waiting for him. Because he's late.
Yep.
Hammond's waiting. He hands the crossword puzzle to Sam. Because, the fate of the world is hanging in the balance, and you've been sitting in your car finishing a puzzle.
Cool.
Which Jack's like, it was double or nothing.
Yeah. I mean, it's very important. This is where my priorities lie.
This is such an we have like this collection of really adorable team moments.
Yes.
In this episode.
Yeah, we do.
The proof, like, how much of a family they are.
Yeah.
And it's the best.
It really, it's like a group project with a team you really like, where they're like, dude, we're supposed to present a while back.
But also, as a viewer who knows how television works, concerning this as the season finale, does it worry you?
Yeah. Yeah. Let me tell you that when we see Teal'c walk out of there at the end of this episode, I'm not happy.
You were kind of yelling.
I was kind of a little bit yelly. Just a little bit yelly.
Because you know how people write television. And you know that they give you those happy moments before they do something
false sense
bad.
of security.
Now let's just take the adorable moments as we have them. But for 23 across, the question was, what is the atomic weight of boron? And while the answer is actually 10, Jack wrote fat.
Sure. That sounds like something you would write. And I'll tell you, because I just did something similar. You're taking a test.
Yeah.
You're like, there's fill-in answers because not all teachers give you multiple choice because they're smarts. And they know that it's too easy. And so they're like, nope, fill in the answer. Give me an actual answer.
It's your temp answer.
And so you're like, I'm going to write something because I'm not leaving this blank.
I used to do things like fat would be my temp answer that I would come back to.
Yeah.
And sometimes not replace it.
Yeah. I recently had one of my courses where we did an online test and you had to memorize all the terms and theories. And I could not remember the actual wording for the three questions you ask yourself to see if something is ethical. Is it legal? Is it fair? And I was like, does it make you feel bad? Which is not exactly how it's worded, but the message is the same.
What would Daniel say?
Does it make? But that's ultimately what
save the planet.
Yeah. Does it make you feel bad? Which is not how I was supposed to write it. I think I got partial credit.
That works. Partial credit's better than no credit. So anyway, to the important saving the world part, apparently they found a second repository of knowledge, and SG-3, while there, spotted a Gould reconnaissance drone, so the Gould know about it, and if Hammond approves it, SG-3 and SG-5 are going to back up SG-1. Jack's like, what mission?
I'm sorry, I didn't do the reading this week.
Hammond comes in, and he's like, good morning. And he's like, Jack, I have to say, considering what happened last time, I'm really surprised that you're down for this.
He's like, yeah, what? I'm totally down for a thing I don't know.
And Dana's like, yeah, Jack, why wouldn't we want access to the greatest repository of knowledge in the universe?
Best team project presentation when the teacher asks the person who doesn't know the answer, because he's like, that person doesn't know the answer. And you're like, yeah, remember what we talked about? Insert definition here. And they're like, oh, right. That one.
And we want to save the whole galaxy and find the lost city of the ancients. Yes. That mission. And Reynolds is like, can I just make sure the thing we're going after is the thing that like grabbed your head and then rearranged your brain? Daniel's like, ish, yes, ish. That's a version that you could say of what happened. Seems like, well, no, it dumps all the knowledge into your brain, and then your brain can't hold it all, so then your brain just rearranges itself, and the knowledge takes you over entirely.
Like, Daniel and Sam want this so bad.
So bad.
But they're like, it's not that, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's totally not that big of a deal. It's just
fine.
It's just a 10-hour drive to Disneyland. That's it.
It did almost kill us last time we went to Disneyland.
But it didn't.
But look, the Asgard saved us.
Yeah.
Got us to Disneyland.
Yeah. Fine. Everything was fine.
I was about to say Magic Kingdom, but that's not Disneyland. No. Got us to the castle. It's fine. And Jack's like, well, let's just call up the Asgard and have them standing by.
And ultimately, nobody died.
No one died.
I think if Daniel and Sam had a baby, it'd be Hermione Granger.
Would be.
Right?
It would be.
That's all I'm done.
It would be. And then Jack's kid would be Ronald Weasley.
No, I mean, there's a little Harry Potter in him, but
No, he would be Ronald Weasley. Listen, Ronald Weasley is very brave.
Oh, Ronald Weasley is very brave.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's true.
Jack's kid would be Ronald Weasley.
True.
We have no Harrys on the team.
No,
No,
we really don't. Harry's like Cassandra or someone.
Yeah. So Sam has been trying to call the Asgard. They're not picking up our phone calls right now. They're
like
sending
super not
us
cool with us.
directly to voicemail. And Hammond points out that none of their allies have been very reliable of late. And if something happens again,
yeah, they're like, "Hey, dude, did we wear the wrong jeans to school? Because no one is talking to us anymore. We've been sitting by ourselves at the lunch table for a while."
Boy, I sure hope that nothing bad happens to threaten the Earth while we can't reach our allies.
Dun, dun, dun. I don't even know where I went there. But it's okay. It's fine. We're here.
So Daniel isn't saying like, let's go stick someone's head in it again. He's just saying, let's bring it back and try to hack into it.
Yeah.
It's totally different.
It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
It's going to be fine.
Yeah.
And because of how powerful Anubis is and how much the Earth is at risk, Hammond gives them the go. So at the White House,
Hammond is like not want to do this at all. Does not.
but
Hammond,
he kind of has no choice.
Hammond is the mom or the dad.
Yeah,
Who
the parental figure.
The parental figure who's like, every time our kid gets on rollerblades, he falls on his ass. But you want to let him go snowboarding and not kill himself? And the other parent's like, it's fine. We got him empowered.
To be fair, snowboarding is more like on a skateboard.
Yeah,
it's totally different.
Slowly negotiating it down. The kid's super excited, and the parent's like, fuck, okay. I know we're going to end up in the hospital later, but fine, go do the thing.
So he lands on his feet-ish. Jack does.
Sort of, yeah.
At the White House, Kinsey leans Weir on his head. Leads Weir into the room, filled to the brim with top secret, eyes-only boxes about the Stargate program.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna want to familiarize herself with all this shit before she takes the job, and she's like, well, rewind.
Imagine though, like, let's take away the pressures of like, what is this mystery job?
Yes.
Imagine walking into the room with all of these notes.
I would.
How amazing! Like,
whoa.
I would spend 2 hours looking at the maps at the library because I didn't know they had all these old maps.
I need coffee and some fortification stat.
So just imagine you're just like, I'm never leaving here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read all of these.
And she's not really sure what's scarier, the fact that all this is true, or the fact that they're telling her all this. Like, what the hell kind of job are you about to offer me?
Yeah, I don't want to go into another. Maybe she thinks she's going to join the team. Like, like the traveling team.
Well, in her head, I can imagine if she can get past the part of why are you offering me a job, I can imagine they're trying to offer her a diplomatic job. Like, as a diplomat, we've seen at the SGC have diplomats.
That's true.
That helped broker treaties before.
And
so
not just military, go off planet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I can imagine that she's thinking, oh, they want me to help negotiate some treaties or something.
Yeah.
Because that's in my wheelhouse. Little does she know. So on the plan, back in the gate room, SG-135 are ready to go. Mm-hmm. They move out on the planet. SG-3, SG-5 will hold the gate. SG-1 will go investigate.
Yeah. All the things, do the things. Let's go off planet. Go
and then we see in orbit some gold ships coming out of hyperspace.
Sure.
Good times.
In case we were thinking that this may not be a thing that would happen. It's going to happen.
So SG-1 checks out this giant statue.
It's like it's a person on a throne, essentially, is my theory.
And the colonnade looks really cool until you realize that those are toenails or claws that form the colonnade.
Yeah.
So some time has passes because Daniel can't find anything and Jack is super bored, pointing out that the gold could be here at any time. The text says that the knowledge base is inside, but there is no inside. There's just a whole lot of outside.
Check for traps.
But there's a trap.
Check for traps.
Daniel has an idea. He pokes at a few of the text things and bam! Head grabber appears onto the wall.
We told you to check.
So Jack reports to Reynolds that they found the thing, and Reynolds says, yeah, all is clear here. right as we see Death Gliders and Elkesh coming towards the surface of the
Everything
planet.
is fine as he's on fire. He just doesn't know it yet.
So now they have to figure out how to get the head sucker out of the wall and not suck anyone's head.
This is great. Okay, this part's fun to watch because D&D is always on my mind. They now approach this like a seasoned D&D party where
Yeah.
nobody touch it. Nobody. Does anybody have mage hand?
Yo, yeah,
Does
no.
anybody have mage hand? Nobody touch that.
Every time we're anywhere, I was like, I will mage hand the doors open. I will mage hand the box open.
Nothing.
No
Nobody
one
ever
touched
touched anything ever. And so they've now gone to this point.
They have.
Because they've also suffered because of somebody touching a thing they weren't supposed to.
Because Daniel just moves close to it and it starts
They're
reaching
like,
out
no,
for
no,
him.
no.
Jack's again going, why exactly are we doing this?
Yeah.
So at the gate, they finally see the Gould coming in. Forces. They get the gate open and they send radio signals through it, which is really smart. Again, seasoned D&D players these are. They know that if they can keep the gate active, no one can gate in.
Yep. Just keep it running.
Just keep it running. You have 38 minutes. So Reynolds radios Jack that they've incoming, and which they can see themselves as Death Gliders start firing at the ground in front of them.
Got it.
Jack calls to head out and leave this, and Daniel points out that they can't leave this here because Anubis will then find it.
Right.
And that's bad.
So what would you do? So we have Jack's initial response,
Which is blow it up.
and then we have Daniel's response,
Which is stick your head in it.
and then Daniel's second response, Jack's second response.
Oh yeah, which is I'm gonna stick my head in it.
What would you truly in that moment? What would be your first reaction?
Okay. There is the selfish part of me, and then what I would like to think I would do.
Okay.
The selfish part of me would be blow the fucker up.
Yeah.
What I would hope I would do is what Daniel does is we need this knowledge and the entire planet will be saved if we can take out evil in the galaxy.
I'm with you. I think my initial thought would be just like Jack's.
But at
the good news is we've watched Stargate.
Yes.
So if we're ever in the situation, just like we did with the Knolls that we did not fight, that we diplomacied our faces off with, we know to not just blow the thing out.
Well, but the also is, you know, if you are Daniel and you're living through all of this, you know that, you know, the one person who you know has been through this was saved in the end.
Yeah.
Now, yes, it took the Asgard, but you can find ways.
Yeah.
It's not a guaranteed death sentence.
Right.
So that's why I was like, I'd like to think that I just
and
stick
it's
my
like
head
knowledge somewhere versus knowledge nowhere is
yes.
And the fact is, it's not like Daniel shoves Jack in there.
No.
Daniel goes to shove himself in there. Like, I'd rather somebody have this information and I die than nobody gets it.
And he's hoping probably he can write down as much as humanly possible.
Well, and the other thing, you know, Daniel's still discovering what's left of him after his ascension.
Yeah.
So maybe if I were in Daniel's position, like if I were Ellie, because Ellie's come and gone back, I'd be like, maybe there's something in me that makes it there that I can survive this.
Yes. To clarify,
so there's a little bit of a
one of your D&D characters died, ascended essentially, and then came back.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Oh gosh, I guess that's true. And it was but so a little bit selfish, a little bit hero-y, but also this is the only way to do it, as far as they're concerned.
As far as Daniel's concerned, and Sam does point out that this is literally the only way to find the lost city that they have in any way, shape, or form right now. So Sam's against destroying it.
Yep.
Daniel starts heading towards the head grabber. No.
This one makes me laugh so hard because Daniel's like, I will save the world. And they're like, nope, get the fuck out, smarty pants. We need your brain elsewhere. This is not your fight,
He's
buddy.
like, well, my favorite Jack is like, who's going to translate it when you go ancient?
Basically.
And I'm like, you're telling me that Daniel is still the only one at the SGC who speaks ancient?
Yeah, where the fuck are all my other smarty pants?
I guarantee you Daniel is not the only person who speaks ancient at the SGC.
Yeah, and if he is, then you guys have other problems.
You have major other problems if he's not shared that knowledge yet. But instead, Jack takes his action cap off and sticks his head in there again.
I love that he takes his cap off first. Like it's gonna matter. Like, does he just not want to bend the bill with the
He's
front?
afraid that they're gonna like puncture the head or something. The head's not gonna fit in there.
Yeah. He likes that hat.
And he falls to the ground when it's done. So Reynolds calls out that they can't hold the gate for long, and there's giant guns, giant explosions, lots of money thrown into this awesome battle.
Run home, big, giant, scary things. Get out.
Daniel and Teal basically carry Jack out while Sam blows the C4 behind them. And I also just love big giant statue, little bitty explosion.
Yeah, it's true.
The whole run to the gate is beautifully epic.
Yeah.
Wonderfully done. Jack slowly wakes up confused.
Yeah, sure.
And everyone finally makes it through the gate. When they finally get to the other side, Hammond's like, what? Why? What happened?
This line.
And it didn't quite go as planned.
This line.
Jack's gonna head to the infirmary because he did it again.
Oops.
Oops, Jack did it again. He messed with the gold.
I love this too because he says it.
Stuck in a vice.
Oh, baby.
Oops.
You think I was smart. Nope, I'm done.
That's literally the only part of the song I know.
Heaven sent from above. Oh, I know the song.
Yeah, no, I don't. That one I don't.
Not that innocent. I love that Jack says this in a way where he's almost more annoyed at himself.
Yeah. He was like, I wasn't going to do this again.
Like, nobody, it's fine. Don't tell me. You can't be more mad than I am at myself.
Exactly. You can't.
He's having one of those moments.
Yeah. He was like, listen, I'm disappointed in myself more than you can be.
Yeah. You can't punish me any further than I've already punished myself.
So Weir finally gets to meet the president in the Oval Office. And as soon as she gets there, or as soon as Hayes gets there, I should say, Hayes immediately calls for a car for Weir in 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's like, say what now? Yeah.
Also, when the president offers you a drink, you take it because it's probably some quality shit.
Regardless of whether it's your favorite drink or not, unless you don't drink, then you say, no, thank you, I don't drink.
Yeah, because it's probably some really good stuff over there.
Yeah, because even if you take a sip.
Yeah. Just hold it.
Like if you are a person who drinks, just take a sip.
Just take a sip because if not, he'll probably finish it later.
I do love how awesomely casual he is.
I love him.
Yeah.
So, and I kind of really hope that we get to see him more. I say like I do.
I do too.
Just because we never got to see the president up till now. And like, again, it's just, there's something about this president where he's not on Kinsey's side, which automatically makes you like him.
But he's also not on that. I love that he's just kind of this neutral party.
He is. Yeah. And I think that what makes him great is because they specifically, you were worried when Kinsey was elected vice president.
That he was going to take on more people on his side, more allies.
And the president was going to be along the same lines as Kinsey.
Yeah.
And then you would have sort of this fight, but now it's truly like,
no,
you don't know. And even if the president, again, like this, removes Hammond, that we'll find out shortly, it's not for necessarily nefarious purposes. Now, that may be purposes you don't agree with.
Sure.
But they're not necessarily for nefarious automatically against these
not bad times.
Yeah. So Weir still has no clue why she's here.
Yeah.
But we learn that she's brokered a dozen highly sensitive international treaties. She speaks 5 languages, and really her only aversion in the situation is her aversion to the military. And she's like, can you speak with words so I know what you're trying to say?
Why are you what? Yeah.
Hayes wants her to run the Stargate program. She's like, come again. For Big Fudge?
Yeah. What? I'm going to need that drink now.
Yeah. So back in the briefing room, Hammond's like, what the fuck happens?
Why? So one thing I told you not to do.
The one thing we said not to do is don't let Jack stick his head in the machine.
Don't take the diamond, the black diamond run.
Yeah.
And you went right for it like a dum-dum.
It's like, it wasn't like an accident. You don't just fall with your head into the machine.
Yeah.
But they did kind of figure
out. He stumbled and tripped into it. Imagine if that's how it went down. Like if he's like trying to pull Daniel back and it's like, oh shit, now my face goes. And Daniel's like, no, I'm going to grab your hat to pull you. And then he just pulls the hat.
That's the alternate.
Yeah.
That's the alternate. That's what the script actually said.
Yeah.
This was basically, they figured their last shot at the knowledge. And then what they're hoping right now is that as the knowledge rewrites his brain, at some point he's going to know where the lost city is, and they'll be able to tell them before it overwhelms his system.
Yeah. And look, now we know what we're aiming for. It's like when you die in a video game, right? And you're like, okay, I may not be able to do this without dying again.
Yeah.
But let me at least get the thing done that I need to get done and hit a save
Exactly.
before I get to that last point.
And Jack finishes the line that Hammond started. He goes, meet his maker, pay the piper, reach the pearly gates, start pushing up daisies. He's like, look, I know all this is going to happen.
Yeah.
All I ask, take a weekend, let me wrap up my personal things, take a few days. No changes are going to happen.
He basically has a fatal diagnosis. He's like, look, it's here. It's fatal.
Exactly.
We got some time. Let me go have some beers.
Exactly. And he'll come back Monday ready to go. And Hammond gives him the okay because now Jack's favorite TV show starts in half an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, The Simpsons is always on, so.
Yeah. It's in syndication.
Yeah. Hayes and Weir's discussion does go a bit more than 5 minutes.
Well, before we get out of the scene, I do want to say that I like that we bring up the infirmary and not to bother with it. It's like, one, we don't bother with the infirmary because, one, there's nothing that can be done.
There's no one we care about there.
There's rarely anything that can be done in the infirmary anyway. I think the only thing that kept Jack going to the infirmary was Janet.
Yeah.
And he's like, Janet's not there. You can't make me do this
anymore. I have no need to be there anymore.
It's like Stormy doesn't love some parts of his walk, but he knows there's a treat at the end if he does it.
Yeah.
So he's like, fine, I will sit at every corner before we cross the street because you're going to give me a treat.
Yeah.
But if the treats are gone, I'm not sitting at the corner.
Yeah.
You can't make me anymore.
Yeah.
And so Janet was his treat, and now there's no treat.
There's no treat no more.
R.I.P. and peace. That's all I needed to talk about Janet.
I love Janet.
Cheers to Janet.
Cheers. Sanjay. So Hayes and Weir's discussion does go a little bit more than 5 minutes. Apparently, they're suspending current operations at the SGC until new government division can be established.
Oh boy. Oh boys.
Yes, but why Weir?
Yeah.
And it's because I think to Hayes, she's a safe bet. Someone who's seen around the world as a neutral party. She's highly skilled at negotiating, and I mean, no one's actually qualified to negotiate with aliens.
There's no such thing. Yeah, no one's ever gone to negotiating with aliens major. In
Can I just say I take the I will vouch an argument with that.
Okay.
There's one person who's proven himself qualified to negotiate with aliens.
I mean, Daniel.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, I'll just pick with that line. She's also a friendly face when this thing finally does go public.
Yeah.
She's not just going to be a figurehead, and Hayes gets the door for her. And no, Weir doesn't really have an option to say no.
No, this is kind of your job now.
It's just kind of you were.
Look, when the White House picks you to do a job, you go for the meeting. You've kind of already said
you were voluntold for this.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the only way out of a job like that is to just not show up.
It's just death.
Yeah.
Cake or death.
Yeah.
I choose cake.
Yeah.
We're all out of cake. So my choice is or death. I don't know how many times I've said that line on this podcast, but I love it.
Times.
I don't care. I still love it.
I've died of alcohol poisoning the amount of times.
So as Weir leaves, fun thing, as Weir leaves, the president invites Bonnie in. And fun fact, I remember when this is happening.
Okay.
Bonnie is the winner of a Get in the Gate contest.
Oh.
Yes, I entered.
You did mention that.
So yeah, it was a fun little competition or like a contest. And the winner got a walk-on roll in Stargate.
I mean, that's really cool, but a little bit of a bummer that it's not in like the SGC. But yeah, it is really cool still. I hope we got to meet everybody.
Hopefully, yeah. But that was a fun thing. So Kinsey is waiting for Weir as she leaves the Oval Office and tells her to be careful who she trusts. And while Hayes is the president, he's the one on the planet that she wants on her side and the one person she doesn't want to cross.
Gross.
So gross.
Gross. I love that she does not take his shit.
Gives no fucks about this.
She's like, okay, bye.
It's like you need to roll a really high charisma check to try to convince me of that shit.
Like she doesn't, this isn't the part where she tells him off. I think that
that happens later.
But the look on her face is like, please. It's the side eye. It's like the major, like, no, not happening, buddy. I don't scare that easily.
And here's what might be the sweetest tea moment that's ever happened on the show. It's cut into two parts, but Sam finds herself at Jack's house because neither could sleep last night.
So is it his house or his cabin?
It's his house.
Okay.
His cabin's up in Minnesota.
Oh, right.
Jack was out looking at the sky, trying to figure out how many stars they've been to. And of course, Sam has to add that only a few of the stars are visible for it. Have stargates on them.
It's like he almost has like a deep romantic moment. She's like, let me give you this technical answer now and ruin this a little bit.
It's just one of the few times where I'm like, yep, I'm definitely Sam.
Yeah.
Because that's the exact shit that I would throw in there.
Whereas I would have been like, yeah.
Yeah, no, I would have. That's the exact type of line that I would have
There's
dropped.
not enough time in the world for us to see all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I would have fallen right for that dumb line.
Nope. And Jack's like, that's not the point.
Goodbye.
Sam was out driving in her car.
That's what people do.
And found herself driving here. Awkward McAwkwardness.
Yeah.
And he goes to grab her a coffee. But how about a beer instead?
it's like she came to your house.
Yeah. Also, I love they're like, do you want a glass? I'll wash one.
If I must.
And then he just throws bottle caps around his house.
Yeah. He just, wherever he sits to drink that beer is where that bottle cap comes off.
It's going across the room.
It's you know what it is? Here's the thing.
And I've also never gotten the bottle cap flippy motion.
Like the flick it?
The flick it. Now, bartender Nick can do that. I've never been able to do that. I think the one time I tried to do that, I ended up shooting it into my face instead.
I don't know that I've ever tried it.
Yeah.
I will say this. These are the benefits of. There's people who live like me that clean the house all the time. It's grossly spotless.
Yeah.
And there's people who don't. And because we're into true crime as much as we are, the person whose house is upside down is actually easier to find clues about.
Yes.
As what I think. It's like, look, here's where she sat the last 5 times she had a meal.
She's talking about me, guys.
But, or just in general. Talking about Jack.
But also...
Oh yeah.
We're very different. My house is basically the Weasley's house.
Whereas my house is like, it's like no one's been here in weeks. How long has she been missing? They're like, oh no, we saw her yesterday. I just haven't seen her this morning.
Yeah. I take pride in my Weasley house.
If it makes you feel any better, your house doesn't gather dust the way mine does because you're in it. Whereas mine's just like dust everywhere all the time and stormy hair. It's our house looks like a dog lives in it, and that's it.
Yeah.
The cardboard, ripped up cardboard, and dog hair.
So, clearly Jack also does not want to talk about Sarah or how he's feeling.
Yeah.
So they should talk about
things and stuff.
Sam's like, you know what? I'm going to leave because you want to be alone. He's like, no, finish your beer. And then you have to wait an hour before you can drive.
I love that part.
It's
like
so
basically
cute.
Don't leave, but I don't know how to tell you that.
Exactly. It's really adorable. And she laments that she should have stuck her head in it this time.
Oh, Sam. It's too no, there's no time for that.
No, and he's like, you were never
nuts.
You're nuts. He goes, you are one of this nation's national resources, national treasures. And this is literally the only way it could have gone down.
Precious resource and national treasure. What a beautiful line.
I know.
Yeah.
It's the only way it could have gone down. And he just hopes it was all worth it. And if we can find the lost city and if you can defend the earth, it will be. So there's another knock on the door. Daniel and Teal'c just walk in. And funny story, they were driving around. They saw Sam's car, and Teal'c said, well, he didn't really say anything. He just did that eyebrow raise he does. And I said, why don't we stop by? And Jack's like, yada, yada, yada. Are those donuts?
Yeah.
Indeed.
Cool. So you brought food? Got it.
Yeah.
But, oh, God, how awful are they going to feel in like 2 hours? Beer and donuts and nothing else.
I don't see the problem with that.
Well, as a type 1 diabetic, let me tell you that their blood sugars are going to spike and they're going to get real lethargic.
To be fair, they're going to be drunk anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Excellent. So on the planet, Anubis has arrived. He's pissed at the Jafala at SG-1 and the rest of their SG units to leave and destroy the repository. And as Anubis leaves, he has his predators just kill all the Jaffa.
Sure, that works.
Super great.
Yep, that's totally fine.
While that's going on, Daniel is balancing an orange on the top of his beer bottle.
I love Drink Daniel. He's like, look what I can do. Look, I'm doing a thing. You know what it is? Here's what happened. Teal'c did it for like a second, and he's like, oh yeah, this is the thing I can do. Cool. And then Dan's like, let me try. I want to try. And he's been trying for like a half hour and just got it.
It's like when you try the pens, I like have a flat bottom, so I always like gotta balance the pen on ends.
Yeah. But it's like it's something that Teal'c did like just easily. And was like, sure, no problem. I'm gonna do this thing. And Daniel's like, that looks really cool because I'm drunk. How do I do that? Okay, show me again. Show me again.
And while he's doing that, Jack is trying to convince them about his analogy about Burns from Simpsons being in Gould. And I mean, I can kind of see Jack as Bart, same as Lisa.
Sure, that feels
Some
right.
other ones as other people.
So, what's Daniel?
I have no clue. I couldn't think of anything for Daniel.
Daniel is Marge. I don't know.
No.
Flanders?
I was thinking a bit of Flanders, but I don't know if he's Flandery.
He's Flandery as far as his friendliness, and Flanders is pretty intelligent.
He is.
Let's see. We'll come back to this.
Okay.
We'll come back to this.
So Jack calls Teal'c shallow. But no, drunk Daniel knows that Teal'c is one of the deepest people he knows. He's so deep, and he prods Teal'c to tell them how deep you are. You'll be lucky if you understand it.
I love this one. He's like Teal'c's hype man.
And Teal'c's like,
no.
My depth is immaterial to this conversation. He's like, oh,
that's a good one. Yeah.
And Jack just is like, you're done with the drinking.
You're cut off. You're cut off now. Bye.
And Sam doesn't get the Simpsons analogy either. And Jack's like, look, no, all of you suck.
Yeah.
And my VHS collection is going to go to Siler now.
How relieved are they all?
So relieved.
They're like, what the hell am I going to do with all this? It's what, 2003, 2004?
2004.
What am I going to do with all this VHS? For real.
So, another knock on the door. And they're assuming it's finally the pizza that's arrived. But no.
So imagine this, right?
Yeah.
Imagine you're like having a shit day. You're drunk with your coworkers.
Yeah.
You ordered pizza. And your boss answers the door. Imagine that, because we share a boss.
Yeah.
Imagine we're hanging out at my house, D&D, doing a thing. We ordered a pizza. And our boss shows up.
I will say they
Would you stand at attention like Sam did?
Probably.
Like,
yes.
Hello, sir. How can we help you?
I'm not drinking. You instinctively put your beer behind your back for some reason.
You're 15. Yeah. Oh my god.
I also love like how close to the door he has to stand so you don't see him through the window.
And they're like, okay.
He's like uncomfortably close to the door.
His like belly is touching the
Poor
door.
Don's nose is just at the door.
Yeah, his belly is on that.
He's
just rubbing his belly on.
Belly rub. I love you, Don. So Sam goes to full attention as we see, and Jack gets him a chair, and Hammond's like, "Do you have another one of those beer guys?"
Oh yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, hope you like Guinness. It's a refreshing substitute for food."
Yeah, that works.
Listen, Guinness is the bread of the beer community.
It really is. Yeah, it's got enough carbs.
And for some reason, I don't know if this will give you like a hint somehow into my state of mind. My first beer I enjoyed is Guinness.
Oh God.
That's what I started drinking.
My first beer that I enjoyed, because beer is one of those things that you don't easily get into. Mine would have been, this is going to sound terrible. It was a Corona, but it's the way it's prepared.
Oh, yeah.
So you put 3 drops of Tapatio sauce.
Okay.
The hot sauce.
Yeah.
Into it. And then you drop a lime wedge.
Which is standard.
Yeah. And then you rim it with salt. And then you just kind of keep the Tapatio going.
Can I drink that?
Yeah.
Because
it's really good with seafood.
Sounds really good.
It's really good with seafood.
I skipped all of the shit beers, I call it.
Yeah.
the liqueurs and Natty and Budweiser and like all of the shit beer, I completely skipped.
I am a fan of PBR.
Nope.
I can drink a PBR.
Nope.
PBR tastes really good if you guys are on a budget. A Pabst Blue Ribbon, Colby Jack cheese, and the Flip Sides crackers. I'm telling you, it is a perfect combination.
The the sort of the closest to that I enjoy is Rolling Rock.
Oh gosh, I've never done.
But again, that's the closest to sort of like I'll drink a Corona.
Now here's the thing: is when you are just starting to drink, it's not so much that you love cheap beer; it's all out of necessity. I mean, we got to a point where we would throw parties, and even PBR was too expensive.
Well, here's the thing: but I was always someone who, if I couldn't get a 6-pack of Guinness, then I'll just buy a single Guinness.
Yeah.
I was the person.
Well, when you were hosting a party, you weren't going to buy a cube of Guinness.
Oh, see, no. When I was hosting a party, it was always BYOB. We never did. Yeah, it was always BYOB. But yeah, no.
Ours was we provide Bud Light. Anything else you want, you have to bring.
Yeah, no. I have absolutely always been the person who goes the quality over quantity. Yeah, because Guinness was my starter.
Or we'd have like the secret stash of what we were drinking, and then those were the stash for the people.
But I also feel like me starting like Guinness as my starter beer, and like Ardbeg Scotch as my beginning scotch somehow just kind of tells you all you need to know about me.
Makes sense. Grace likes gin.
See, and I didn't like gin until I had a barrel aged.
Yeah, you like those darker colored things.
I like things super strong. So anyway, Guinness is a substitute for food. So Hammond then drops
Where the fuck were we? Yeah.
Hammond drops a bomb.
Yeah.
Hammond has been relieved of his command at the SGC, and the president has shut down the SGC for a 3-month review period, during which a newly formed government department will take the place of Stargate Command. Hammond leaves tomorrow for Washington to discuss reassignment, which he's not all about, as you can imagine. And the rest of the team is just going to what the fuck, like
and I love his approach. He's like, play nice with whoever comes in.
Yeah,
that's all I can. It's kind of like I've taught you everything I can. You guys, I trust you guys.
Yeah,
just keep this thing going.
And he's like, but they're like, Jet doesn't have 3 months right now.
Yeah.
We can't just stop in the middle of this. Like, this ball is rolling down the hill.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Hammond sort of repeats all the stuff we kind of discovered last episode in terms of Kinsey and the presidents and stuff like that. And says that Hammond's replacement is Dr. Elizabeth Weir. And naturally, Daniel has heard of her. Sure. Even referenced some of her work when he drafted the first Tok'ra Treaty. Mm-hmm. And yeah, for now, SG-1's only option is to plead their case.
Yep.
Hammond's
and he's, I trust you, get it done.
So back at the SGC in the briefing room, Weir stands sort of in awe in front of the Stargate, in front of the window in the briefing room. Daniel comes in.
I love this. Daniel tries to charm her, and she's so like oblivious.
Yep. He's like, it's amazing, isn't it? And we're just going, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Daniel's like, well, fuck you too. And she turns and she has a headphone, headpiece in.
Well, you know what? That's what she gets for being a jerk on a Bluetooth.
It is. So she finishes the conversation and then introduce each other to each other. Daniel is just like, yeah, I used to stand here when I was first trying to get the Stargate to work.
Yeah.
She's like, that wasn't subtle.
Yeah.
I get it. You've been here for a really long time.
But with Daniel, I almost don't know that it was purposely meant to be a thing, like a flex. Yeah. Like, she's like, weird flex, but okay. You know, but he's like, no, I just genuinely loved it. You know?
There's a little bit of flex in there. Just a tiny bit. But yes, I do also love this view. And through all of this change, she knows the military is not going to welcome her with open arms, but she is hoping Daniel, of all people, is sort of going to give her a chance.
Sure.
And I love Daniel's line. that she is replacing a great man, Unifor notwithstanding.
Yes. And he's not wrong.
He's not wrong. And honestly, Daniel is wondering how someone like her, who spent her career lobbying against government spending, ended up working here.
He's basically trying to understand her purpose.
Because he knows that she's not a fan of the military.
Yeah.
And she continues that, she truly still believes that the way to stop the proliferation of weapons is to stop the need for them.
Right.
She is basically trying to spread peace among the galaxy,
Yeah.
and she right now thinks that she can do it. She's gonna die. She's gonna try.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I think if anyone's gonna respect that, it's Daniel. Regardless of where he's coming from.
Yes.
He's like, okay, I gotta respect her angle, where she's coming from.
Well, here's the thing though, and here's what I think is sort of the important, to me, what I get from this is the person who would be easiest on the space to get on her side, and she can't even get Daniel on her side.
Well, yeah, so what I'm seeing is Dr. Weir and Daniel come from the same
place, at
theory
least.
Of communications, if you will, of diplomacy. But as experienced as Dr. Weir is, Daniel has seen some shit.
Yes.
And I don't want to use the word jaded because it doesn't feel right, but he's like, I've hit some hard realities.
Yeah.
Using our fundamental theories where sometimes it's just not an option.
He's like, you can read all the stuff that you want, but you need to go out there and see that before you can try. You need to take it from my experience.
And so that's what I mean by that is Daniel can respect where her foundations are very similar to his.
Yes.
But it's like, but there's more to this.
But you're just reading this paperwork. Yeah. And I know you're just going to try to roll the charisma negotiation roll. And I'm telling you that you can't do that.
Yeah.
You cannot roll high enough to cover this.
Yeah.
And Daniel's honest. Not everything that goes on the space is right. But on paper, you don't get the threat of the Goa'uld.
Right.
There is no negotiation with them. They're going to kill you or they will enslave you. Like that's
They're done. There's no middle.
There's no other option. Yeah. You need to go through the gate and experience that before you can sit here and say, I'm going to try to make peace. Besides the fact that
make peace. Sorry. Thought of him.
Gonna make peace. And also Jack doesn't have the time for this type of negotiation right now. Like he only did what he did is because we're going now to save the lost city.
Yeah, we are up against all the hardest hit
all the walls, physical, metaphorical.
Yeah.
And just then there's an unscheduled off-world activation, which is alarming since all of the SG teams are already back.
Yeah.
It's Braytech. And you can tell that Daniel's a little worried. She's not going to open the iris in time.
Yeah. Can you please not get him shot? He's probably running from right now. Anytime Braytech comes in the door, I imagine something very similar to Indiana Jones at the beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Like where the natives are just coming for him. Yeah. It's like that's all every time the gate's coming and it's Braytech, that's what's on the other side.
Well, it's also just
an arrow's just gonna come right through that.
It's also just anytime Braytech's called, you can like gird your loins because you're like, you don't just call to say hi.
No.
You only call when something bad's happening.
Yeah.
And after introductions, Braytech is worried that Hammond of Texas has fallen in battle.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh,
God.
But they tell him no, just had a change in leaders. But Braytech is the bearer of bad news. Anubis is gathering his full force to come and take Earth, and he's going to be here in 3 days.
Braytech basically comes in and he's like, "Hey, there's a bunch of fuckery going on.
There is some serious skullfuckery that is happening. Some shiznit is heading your way." Could you imagine Braytech saying shiznit?
Yeah, I mean, I was happy with fuckery, but okay, I'll take it.
So, at the White House, Hayes is ending a phone call with Kinsey about hearing about the man or whatever out and getting back to him. And clearly, as we find out later, he's talking about Braytech, and which pisses me off even more because Braytech won't even acknowledge that Braytech is a man.
Kinsey,
yes. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
won't even
He's a piece of
acknowledge.
shit.
He's just a piece of
In
shit.
case we were unconvinced that Kinsey is a piece of shit.
You can't even let Hayes go, let's hear the man out. And you can't even, it just.
Yeah.
And Hammond is welcomed into the Oval Office. Apparently, Hayes and Hammond have known each other for quite a while.
Yeah.
Back when Hammond was a lieutenant and had hair. Hayes does want to emphasize to Hammond that this has nothing to do with Hammond's record. This has nothing to do with Hammond. And he wishes the American people could know all that Hammond has done for them. And Hammond's like, hopefully one day they will.
Yeah.
Hayes also knows that Hammond has a history with Kinsey. And we also get some inside baseball that this is all because of Florida.
No comment.
It wasn't just the money that got Kinsey on the ticket as VP. It was the fact that Kinsey on his own delivered Florida to himself because Florida is always gumming up elections.
My favorite meme out there right now is like, Florida could be voting for, I forget what the good thing is.
Yeah.
It's like, or a kick in the head. And the results will still be 50.1 to 49.1 or 5.
As two people who vote in Florida, I don't know. I don't know.
Why?
I don't know. Florida is just forever cursed. Even, again, speaking about the dollop, they're talking about the other election in, like, the 1800s. And God. It was Florida that, like,
it's forever
fucked
Florida.
Everything up. And it's forever Florida. So, anyways, to give Hayes credit, it does sound like that if he knew then what he knows now about Kinsey would not have been on the ticket. So, some Monday morning quarterbacking, but at least there's that. Yeah. So Hammond wants to talk retirement rather than reassignment. But no, Hayes is like, you're not going anywhere. I need you here in Washington because I trust you. It sounds like he's almost like, I trust you. I need you as the other voice, like as opposite of Kinsey in my head.
Yeah. It's really just a meaning to be like, hey, just so we're clear, I'm not getting rid of you.
Exactly.
We're making a power move to keep this asshole quiet.
So back in the briefing room at the SGC, apparently Anubis is attacking on a Thursday. That's no good for Jack.
Yeah.
And he's coming here to attack because he thinks that we know the location of the lost city, and he doesn't know that we don't know.
Huh?
Yes.
Exactly.
So in comes Kinsey and Weir, and there's some beautiful top-notch snarkery going on. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
Kinsey and Jack are just going at each other, and that's always a fun time.
Gourmet, the Michelin star level.
Yep. And I love everyone else is just like, let's get down to business.
Yeah, can we stop?
Defeat Anubis. And you can have a real hard time that Jack, or you can tell that.
You can tell.
I'm gonna drink one more time.
To defeat the goal.
You can tell that Jack is having a hard time respecting this Nubian command. Because you have to earn Jack's respect. It's not a default.
Well, and it's a real tough place to try to sit there and earn it with Kinsey.
Yes.
In the room. If she had gone a couple of sessions with just the team.
Without Kinsey.
Yeah.
But also, I don't think she had an option. Kinsey just walked in there.
Kinsey, well, that's the thing is Kinsey's just kind of like trying to be like, hey, you're not, I'm important here in the most disgusting, gross way that I can imagine. It's just
horrible.
Just so, it's gross. It's clear to everybody what you're doing. It's clear that you are so insecure in your own sense of power and you are so hungry for more of it. It's just gross.
It's almost as if
it's counterintuitive to what you want.
It's almost as if Kinsey is a greater threat to Earth than Anubis is.
Yeah, and it just bothers me so much because the shit he's trying to prove that he's important, that he's powerful, he's only demeaning by being there. Yeah. He's only showing how not important he is.
Yes.
It just bothers me to no end.
He's the worst, basically. Yeah. Kinsey says he came down here to hear Braytek out personally, and I also assumed he's never going to actually hear Braytek out. Jack points out it's Master Braytek.
Yeah.
Master.
Just like your
As a matter of fact, it does say master on my uniform. Kinsey is just assuming that because the timing is so coincidental to when they suspended gate operations, that all of this must be made up. And what's worse, he even says that.
Yeah. He's just gross.
Jack is not taking any of this bullshit anymore. He's like, and it also looks like this whole time he has a headache, probably from his brain starting to be rewired. Yeah. No more Mr. Nice Jack. Weir steps in between them. She's like, okay, put your dicks away.
Yeah.
Let's assume that Braytac is earnest. She does say Master Braytac.
Yeah.
Is earnest. And even after hearing Danielle's emphasis of how dangerous Anubis is, she suggests trying to negotiate. And for crying out loud, that's Durentis. And it starts. And they actually echo the same back and forth lines, him and Daniel from Death Race. It's really cool. And in case you don't know how smart Weir is, she does know that that's not Latin.
Yeah. It's one of her 5 languages.
She does get to understand that Jack means that trying to negotiate is insane.
You know who's going to learn Ancient? Her. She's going to be
going to learn Ancient, for sure. Sam again points out how close they are to finding the Lost City, to finding these weapons, technology that can protect them. And Kinsey can't believe that they're all still listening to all this. And he just sees that Jack's last official mission, that he has displayed poor judgment and incurred the wrath of the worst enemy ever brought down on Earth. And Jack's like, you said the invasion wasn't real.
Yeah, so it can't be both.
Also, when you be about my last mission,
yeah,
I ain't retiring anywhere.
Yeah. You can't have both, dude.
No, you can't.
Ugh.
And Weir points out that, yeah, but until you know where the Lost City is, there's not much we can do. And Jack's like, I do know.
I love it. She's King Solomon. She's like, here are facts.
Yeah.
Let's deal with facts.
Jack's like, I do know, I will know.
Sometimes.
And he's like, look, I just want to guarantee, if I can come up with the location of the Lost City, you let us go. Kinsey's like, no, of course not.
And Kinsey, it's like, Kinsey, this isn't your fucking place.
This is not your place. And he goes, he points to Weir, he goes, why are you here? Who are you?
Yeah.
But it's a point. Like, Jack is going, I don't know you.
Yeah.
Here's your one chance to, what you say to this question is going to determine if I start trying to give you respect or not.
Not to Kinsey, to Weir. Use it, Kinsey.
I'm sorry.
Yes, got it. We're good. We're here. I'm here.
Keep confusing names.
It's fine.
Jack says that to Weir.
Yes.
And she goes, I will consider it.
Yeah. No, and it really is. At this point, it's like, show us what you're made of.
Yeah.
Show me what you got.
Show me what you got. And Jack's like, fine.
I'm with you now.
Thank you.
For sure. Yeah.
And I honestly think that is more than Jack thought he was going to get.
Yeah.
Jack was assuming she would say no to.
Yep.
Braytac and Teok are going to head back to Chulak.
This makes me uncomfortable, and I don't like it. And Teok is in all his gear, and he's
not yet.
Okay.
We have the other
man.
We have one more scene first. They're going to head back to Chulak, hope to find some ships, some people to help defend Earth.
Yep.
And they leave the briefing room. Kinsey follows Weir into Weir's office and wants to know what the hell that was. You know, and he's pissed that she would back Jack on anything. And Kinsey's like, I want them gone. I want all of them gone. And how have you not realized that you need to get rid of SG-1?
I love this because he thinks she's just dumb and doesn't understand what he wants. Where it's like, no, idiot.
Yeah.
She knows what you want. What you want is wrong. So fuck off. I love this part.
She goes, this is my office.
Yeah.
This is my chair.
Yep.
And until you tell me that I'm no longer the commander of this, I will make decisions.
Yeah.
Not you.
Yeah.
I don't care how they fit into your agenda. Get your ass out of my office and don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Yep. Fuck yes.
You're the one that put me in command, therefore I'm in command.
So bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
I am not your pawn.
I love it. He's such an idiot. He shows all his cards.
Yeah.
Because he's mad.
And so
he's so gross.
I think it's really interesting now because we now have a president who is, for as far as we know, neutral.
Yeah.
We don't know which direction he will go on decisions, but we also know that if he rules against what we want, it will not be
because of
for
things.
assholery.
Yeah.
And now we also have this new commander of the SGC
space, yeah.
in the exact same space.
Now what's even more interesting though is that she, like you said, is the commander of the SGC.
Yes. She
So-
she has the same power that Hammond had.
Yeah. And so now it's like the president is true neutral.
Yes.
And ultimately Weir is true neutral. But she's also at some point going to have to take the base into like these people into consideration, because she is, boots on the ground, living this thing. So it's like, how is this going to work? This will be really fun.
It's also just going to be interesting of how the this is a military base, and we now have a civilian in charge of a military base.
Yep. Yeah, that's true.
And is that going to change sort of the military versus science?
There will be some power dynamics to begin with, and there will be some turbulence, no matter what. It's one of the 4 stages of group development.
It's also just the fact that it's not Hammond right now.
Yeah, and let's not even get started with that.
Yeah,
there's a lot to happen there. It'll be an interesting situation. Yeah, it'll be very interesting.
So, in the gate room,
this is the part I don't like.
This is the part that you don't like.
Yeah.
In the gate room, Teal'c is ready to head off with Braytek. And Jack tries to say goodbye, and if he doesn't see T again,
nope, don't say that.
And no, Teal'c will see. I will see you soon.
Yep.
And they warrior hug, and Teal'c and Braytek bow, and they head off. And you can tell the mood is heavy.
Yep.
And whatever is about to happen is going to be big.
And the stupid to be continued comes up here.
To be continued. And
Grace yells at the TV.
And I will say this: the only thing that they'll tell you about the next episode right now, is this episode, for as much that happened in this episode, this episode is the calm before the storm.
Jesus fucking Christ. Good. I don't like.
Tell me what you don't like about this episode.
I don't like that Hammond's not on the base. I feel safe for him. The alarms aren't going off.
Yeah.
But I don't like that he's no longer on the base. He's no longer at the SGC. Now, the alarms are going off with Teal'c.
Yes.
I don't like that he's leaving. He's going in full Jaffa gear. Like, there's no Earth Teal'c signs of him left.
There's not.
That makes me really uncomfortable. I'm interested in Weir.
Okay.
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by her. I want to know what's going to happen next there.
I will say...
I'm ready to sink my teeth into this.
I will say this, because you know that Stargate is a TV show that is not afraid of change. Do you think that Weir is a permanent change? Is Weir now the commander of the SGC? Do you think Hammond's coming back? Do you think he'll be replaced by someone else?
So here's what I think. I think Weir is a permanent character.
Okay.
To our world.
Okay.
But I'm not convinced that the position, I don't think it's going to be as simple as it's been.
That it's just like a clean replacement.
Yeah, that it's like, I think it's the evolution of the SGC, if you will.
Okay.
I think that's what's more anxiety.
That there are changes happening, but this is not how the cards settle.
It's not going to be like a just swap of a seat.
Gotcha.
I think that the SGC is changing, and that's the more scary part. So it's I'm ready. Good Lord, I'm ready. Okay, I finished my Kahlua coffee.
Alrighty. We're going to be back next week with Lost City Part 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yes.
Oh God. Before we go, we have one new patron.
Yes.
Ilya. That's the name we got. I hope I'm saying that right.
Sounds good to me.
I'm saying it right. If I'm not, I apologize. But thank you very much.
Sweet. I am recording the very first Dolphin Cast later today.
Farscape probably next week.
Okay.
I'm shaking. Like, I feel like I'm literally shaking. So
get some more sugar in you.
We're gonna go and we're gonna go watch this, and we love you guys, and we'll see you next week with part 2 For now, find us on Twitter at Terra Podcast.
Find us on Facebook at There's No Place Like Terra.
Email us at there's no place like Terra at gmail.com.
Patreon.com/There's No Place Like Terra.
Like, rate, review. Okay, we gotta go.
Okay. We're going.
I volunteer for donut.
We're volunteer for